The sole survivor will be the tiger.
Welcome to episode 5 of Tea Time with Mel and Jay. I'm Jay.
I'm Mel.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We have our trusty
LaMarca,
as always, to get us through an episode of Tea Time. And we have a really fun one today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if anything could beat the Dawn Wall, but
no.
This is a close second. Second.
Totally.
So this afternoon, what did we watch, Jackie?
Okay, so here was our thought process. We looked on Rotten Tomatoes. Everybody knows Rotten Tomatoes, rankings, whatever. I was like, what is the best sports movie of all time according to Rotten Tomatoes?
Yes.
And to my surprise, and I think to Mel's surprise, were you surprised by this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Number one sports movie on Rotten Tomatoes is The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke.
Yep.
I literally was shocked when I saw that.
Right. Well, I guess what I forget is how, because wrestling's not my thing.
Right.
But I forget how intense the wrestling community is. Like, we've been watching a lot of movies this weekend, and even watching, looking through on Netflix, Glow is coming up, and I'm like, oh my God, people are obsessed with Glow.
People are obsessed with wrestling.
Yeah, people are obsessed with wrestling. Like, my sister loves Ric Flair's daughter. Like, there's a whole community.
It's so wild.
It's a real community.
Here's our issue. We're not. So we're not.
We're not.
So we watched the trailer, and we've heard it's great. Mickey Rourke.
Incredible.
Ultimate comeback. I'm sure it's a tearjerker, heartfelt, love this movie. But we realized we are not into that culture, and we actually had zero desire to watch it. So we decided to pivot.
Yeah. We decided to do a little change up here. And we didn't
go too far, though.
No, we didn't. We stayed within the fighting arena.
The combat sports type.
Exactly, combat sports. And we went to the fighter. So instead of the wrestler, we went to the fighter.
Yep, and the 2010 film with Mark Wahlberg and Christian Bale and all the other amazing actors.
Amy Adams.
Oh,
who's fantastic.
Killed it. Crushed it.
Killed it with that, what is it, your tramp stamp?
Oh
my God, loved her. She was so legit in this movie.
Oh yeah.
So The Fighter, I think, is probably one of my favorite movies. I love boxing. My boyfriend's father was a world champion boxer. So it's really, really interesting for me to see from the perspective of knowing his family, knowing his father, knowing how he came up. I don't know, the story feels very personal to me. It feels,
I understand that.
Yeah, I cried the whole time.
She literally cried the whole time. So here's the thing. I've never seen it. She has seen it. And
Long time ago, though. Or when it came out, in 2000.
Literally 11 years ago.
Yeah.
10 and a half.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what month it came out. But
it's you're seeing it for the first time.
But yeah, exactly. So I had never seen it. I love a good Marky Mark movie.
We love Marky Mark.
And I've heard so many quotes from this movie as well, and I just thought it was a great way to pivot what we thought we were doing in The Wrestler to change it to be The Fighter. And it didn't disappoint.
No, it did not disappoint. And honestly, Rotten Tomatoes, why is it not in your top 10?
Why?
I don't understand. It's a fantastic sports story. I mean, you have everything. You have Hard Knocks, you have addiction, you have, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps.
You have
love, exactly. Cheers to love. Cheers to love. The Bachelor's on tonight as well, so we're cheersing to love all night tonight.
Love a good series of The Bachelor. Anyway, back to The Fighter. All right, let's just break it down. Let's just break it down. So here's one of my first
summary.
One of my first things is if you are a little bit not naive, a little shy with the language situation, there's a lot of F-bombs. I would just be aware of that.
Yes.
Not a kid's movie.
Not a kid's movie, no.
Not a kid's movie.
No, it's not a kid's movie.
Not you, not you, not you.
Get all your 5-year-old children out of the room.
Not you. Yeah.
No, it is definitely not. I mean, it's a family movie, but definitely not little kid friendly.
How is it a family movie?
Because it's about like his family rallies around him. They get him to the. Look, I'm a really big fan of this movie.
Honestly, I loved it. I
Yeah.
really did love it. There's every aspect of a good story. First of all, it's a true story.
True story.
True story about Mickey Ward and Dickie Ward.
Yep.
And
The
rest
boxing
of their
brothers.
entire 7 other siblings.
Yep, they're one of 9.
One of 9.
Yep, one of 9 children in Lowell, Massachusetts.
Speaking of Lowell,
Yeah.
which is really funny, I saw a TikTok today that broke down.
I still can't get over that you have a TikTok. Like, it's probably my
just-
favorite thing.
I just watch things. I had never made one.
I've made one, and no one will ever see it.
I don't even think I follow you.
Okay, well, we'll change that
Anyway,
after this.
so I saw a TikTok
Okay.
that was a guy who is from the Boston area,
Yeah.
Eastern Massachusetts.
Yep.
And if anybody knows anything about that area, all the little towns are really hard to say if you're not familiar with them, and they
Yes.
sound nothing like they're spelled.
No.
And Lowell's one of them.
Lowell, yep. It's Lowell, but spelled and said Lowell instead of Lowell.
Yeah.
Same
like
with like
Gloucester.
Gloucester,
Like
Gloucester, yep.
Gloucester. Dorchester.
Dorchester,
Situate.
yep. Situate.
Boston.
Boston. We both are really big fans of Boston. I went to school up in Boston.
I
and
almost went to school.
Jackie almost
We
went
almost
to school.
went to the same school.
We almost did.
Which
I
we
always
wouldn't
forget about
we
that.
wouldn't have crossed paths.
We would not.
We're not going to say why. Okay, back to the fighter. Anyway, so
Yeah.
I really did love this story. It starts out with kind of the ultimate rise and then fall of the brother Dickie,
Yep.
who was older.
The older brother, yep. Older brother who was whose claim to fame, what was he called? The Pride of Lowell. Yeah, the Pride of Lowell. His claim to fame was that he knocked down Sugar Ray Leonard.
down.
Quote unquote, which we find out. Well, you'll have to watch the movie if you haven't
totally.
already. But you know, he really succumbed. Unfortunately, he says at 23, someone offered him crack cocaine or crack, and he became an addict.
Yeah.
So
Really bad one.
Really, really sad. And so it kind of starts out, you think that HBO has come to film this whole comeback. He's gonna like make his return to boxing. He's been out, he's 40 years old, you know, he's been out of the game for a while. And so HBO is filming this documentary, which we think is his comeback. And alongside him, his brother is training as a fighter as well. So it's kind of like a has-been, and then a guy, his brother, who's
coming up now.
kind of coming up. He's had a couple of losses. He's a really good fighter, but he just can't seem to cinch it. And his brother is his coach, and his mom is his manager.
Yep.
So lots of family involved.
Lots of family.
Yeah.
But the sad part was, now that we know that his brother is a drug addict,
Yeah.
he never shows up.
Yeah.
He never shows up. So other people are stepping in to train with Mickey and, you know, make him be the best fighter that he can be. And it's really sad because eventually, once he realizes he's supposed to be there, the brother, he shows up.
Yeah.
But I guess better late than never, which is what they say in the movie, but I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, I think what I love so much about the movie is that it really shows how addiction can really completely destroy a career, and how many athletes, you know, and actors have we seen just their careers are completely, you know, like lost by addiction, whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever.
Sometimes after an athlete retires, it's like, now what? And they get depressed, or
They get addicted to pain medication.
or they've been hurt during their career as an athlete, and then they have to deal with this addiction to an opioid, and then they have to go to cheaper things, and it just spirals up. It's very sad.
Well, and also being a part of such like fame, you know, like I talk with, you know, my boyfriend, his father was a world champion boxer, and the number of people that he saw, you know, in the, you know, boxing sphere that they got really, really, really injured, and you get addicted to pain medication, or you get addicted to the lifestyle of it all. And so you kind of
glamour.
the glamour, and, you know, a lot
attention.
a lot of athletes, you know, what is so true is this grit and this need to do it. You know, you really, especially for boxing, you know, you really have to want and have to be pulling yourself out of, most of the time, not a great situation. So it's super desperate. So you're like, I've got to do anything. I've got to be a part of this community. I've got to make friends with everyone. I've got to show up,
do
be
things
a part of
that
it.
you would never do to make a friend. Like,
Right, exactly.
do crack
do
cocaine.
crack.
Yeah.
So, but you get swept up because you're like, oh my God, how did I get here? You know, all of this hard work, and then, you know, it can be nothing. So I think just as much as we love watching the story of Mickey Ward and his like rise to being this boxer with that, you know, that is, you know, kind of comes up out of nowhere. Like, it's also really great to see the two brothers go through like losing everything, gaining everything, and kind of meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, I think that that's what's so cool about this movie.
I agree.
You know,
but I also love the fact that there was a love interest, because what is a movie without a love interest? Like, let's be for real. So Mickey meets, what's her name? Charlene? Charlene? Close enough.
Char.
We're going to call her Char. So meets her. She's a bartender at a local bar in Lowell, which we all know is not like the best area.
The local watering hole.
And I mean, she is just like
she's a
badass.
Spitfire.
She is like a Spitfire. She doesn't really have her stuff together either.
Yeah. Which I think you kind of think she does, because she really rescues him in a way.
Yeah.
Where she's like, your family is hurting you and you deserve better. And she really sees in him, you know, his potential, which we all love in a partner. We love to see a supportive partner, you know, helping us make our choices, like, you know, support our choices. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's like she also is using him, you know, as that support, you know, as that like pulling her out of the gutter. So he has all these people around him, Mickey, who are like, we got to get you to make it so we can all make it.
So we can all make it together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that literally played true for all the characters around him.
Yeah. His family, his 7 sisters, his brother, like
his mom. Who, by the way, he doesn't call mom, he calls Alice. They both the brothers are just like, oh yeah, Alice. Really, mom?
Yeah.
Alice?
Yep, their mom.
That's hysterical too.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's a really cool story, because you see so many athletes that have their parents start out as their managers and start out as their coaches, and they're like
athletes, performers, actors,
everyone. I mean, you kind of, they're like, well, I know you best.
Kim Kardashian, momager.
Kim Kardashian, Kris Jenner.
Kris Jenner as the momager.
Yeah, momager would be correct. So
Alice is the momager.
Yeah, she is the momager. But it really is a really cool story of kind of him having to make these decisions on his own. Like, he's had all of this input from everyone in his life, who he should be, what he should do, taking care of his brother, sticking up for his brother, you know, but then like, what do I actually want? Like, what's going to bring me to the finish line here? And
I think he really figures it out. And towards the end of the movie, he goes through a series of a handful of fights where he's just winning.
Yeah, they're like his redemption fights.
He's like coming up, redeeming himself, and finally it ends up going to international.
Yeah, he flies to London and he has his first international fight. It's
not looking good at first.
No.
And then...
But he leans into his brother, because his brother's back. You know,
head body.
Yeah, head body.
Which is something he would say as his fighting technique, where if you hit their head, they have to guard their head, and then you can get their body, and then it keeps going back and forth. So that's something that we heard over and over and over. Hid body.
But which was his brother's technique. So, you know, where he decides to not train with his brother after, you know, you'll have to watch the movie. Yeah. But, you know, some stuff goes down and he decides to use another trainer. But, you know, at the end of the day, he really is like, his brother really knows him and is like as tumultuous as their relationship is, and as like, you know, terrible as he has been to him, and their relationship goes through all these ups and downs, it's like he knows him as a fighter the most out of anybody. And so ultimately it's like so great because you get to see them, like, they can't do it without each other, you know? They really have this symbiotic relationship that almost starts out parasitic, and then it kind of is like...
Wait, he has a relationship like that with basically everybody that's important in his life, like his brother, his girlfriend, his mother, and all these people played huge parts in his success and his failures.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then he realizes, like, I'm not going to be successful without all of them involved. Like, I can't pick just being with my girlfriend.
Yeah, and I can't just have, you know, my family. Like, I need them all. You know, it's like the old and the new, they have to come together to kind of, you know, like, make him a success. So, I don't know. I think the movie is beautiful. I think it is beautiful. Such a good story to be told of perseverance and not giving up on yourself, you know, setting boundaries, but like always knowing like that the love from your family is there, and like it can conquer all. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. Definitely is a tearjerker if
you're me.
If you're her. I mean, my eyes welled up a little bit. Usually I am a crier, so it was weird that I didn't cry, but I already cried today.
Probably, yeah, I know. We've been crying all weekend.
Already cried today, so I don't think I had many tears left. But it's definitely an emotional movie.
Yeah.
However, if you have weak eyes and a weak stomach, there's a lot of blood.
Lots of blood, like a fight.
Lots of blood in a fight. So I know there's some people that do not like combat sports for that reason, because they cannot watch a bloody face.
Oh yeah, no. I think the first time I ever went to go see like a professional fight at Madison Square Garden, I had no idea what to expect. I was like, oh, you know, it'll be like, you know, it'll be like the movies, you know, but it's not that bad. And
wrong.
Yeah, wrong. SOS.
You are wrong.
I was horrified. And now I've seen a couple of fights now, so it's not as bad, but the movie does a great depiction also because Mark, he loves boxing. Like
in real life, IRL.
Yeah, he is like a real life boxing fanatic. He actually, I think you know this. He did a music video about Nick's dad's boxing career. It's called No Mercy. Check it out. Marky Mark wrote a song about my boyfriend's father's boxing career.
Can you say his name?
Dariusz Michalczewski. He was a Polish fighter. And they trained together. I think at Gleason's in Brooklyn. Yeah. So
Gleason's, anybody who's anybody in the boxing world has trained at Gleason's.
Yeah, so I know like and they fight in the video. I mean, the video is ridiculous. It was when he was Marky Mark. It's like very 80s, but it showcases his whole life and like how, you know, like Darius, he kind of came from, you know.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Why did I not know this?
Oh my gosh, I'll have to show her the music video after this.
Are we even friends?
I thought you knew that.
Maybe I did and I forgot, but I'm not remembering.
No Mercy, check it out. But yeah, he's a huge big time boxer. Like I think he like met with Darius a couple of times. Like they've sparred together. So big boxing fan.
Okay, cool. I know that I'm also a big time boxer.
Oh, yes, she is.
I really am.
In Queens, New York.
Honestly, okay, here's the thing.
Yes.
Since COVID happened, I have not been boxing. Obviously, it's very like face to face. My trainer, Joel Phoebus, I miss him so much. I'm shouting him out. I'm going to have to tell him to watch this. I miss him so much. Yeah. Because
I think boxing's the best workout.
I never loved something so much as far as a workout.
Yeah, I agree.
He changed. I mean, my brother has a boxing bag in his basement, and I have gloves. Apparently, I have Muay Thai gloves because they're harder.
Oh, yep, they're not.
Mine are hard. They're not soft boxing gloves. They're Muay Thai gloves, and I have purple wraps. Okay.
Yes.
Seriously, miss it so much.
I know.
I'm very sad.
I miss it too. I used to go to a boxing gym, Aerospace. Remember when I would go there? Yep. It's just the best workout. It's so empowering. You feel so strong.
So good, so strong. And you feel like, I felt, okay, I live in New York City. I can protect
It's a
myself.
useful skill.
Listen,
It is
I can throw a
useful
good
skill.
punch, okay? My hooks and my uppercut got real good.
Yeah.
Okay?
No. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
I miss it so much.
I know. You'll have to do if you don't do Les Mills, check out Les Mills, but they have a great...
They do. Grit and combat.
Yep, combat. I fell in love with doing combat over
It's real good.
quarantine. So
Me too.
Highly recommend it. But
for sure, Les Mills, the combat classes are amazing. And you even get to high knees, you get to kicks, you do so much. Basically
it's like
everything.
Kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing technique.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. It's an all around like amazing workout.
Yeah. So now that we've pivoted to our boxing careers,
I know, now our boxing careers, excuse me, they're writing the fighter too about us. And our comeback to boxing in Manhattan.
Oh, don't even tempt me, okay?
Don't even film our own documentary.
For sure. Okay, so let's go back to the fighter. Let's give it our champagne flutes. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, like, obviously for me, out of 5, I would give it a 6.5. It's just, I think it's one of my favorite movies. I don't know, and I don't like I mean, I love a good, like, romantic storyline. I love, like, a pulling yourself up, getting your life together montage, you know, a good workout montage.
Yeah.
But it's just a movie that I could watch over and over again and be inspired and be reminded that, like, your dreams can come true at, you know, any age.
At any age, yeah.
You can pull yourself out of, you know, really rough times like addiction, like, you know, a terrible headspace injury, whatever it may be.
Because he had a broken hand.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep. It really checks all of the boxes for me in terms of like
a good movie.
A good movie that I could just watch over and over again and not really get bored of it. I also just love Mark Wahlberg. Like
who doesn't?
So amazing.
I just like who doesn't?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean 6.5 out of 5.
6.5 out of 5.
That's great.
Yeah.
I would give it, I think, 4.5. And the reason I didn't give it a full 5 stars or 5 champagne flutes is because I felt like at times there was a lot going on and it was hard for me to grasp. Like you had mentioned something.
Who was who?
Who was who, or what actually was happening at that moment. There were times when we watched it together.
Yeah.
And I just was like, wait, what just happened? Or who is that? And she had to clarify for me. And I'm not sure like why I missed it. But there were parts when I just didn't follow along. I mean, I loved the whole storyline, didn't miss the storyline, but little bits and pieces here and there, I just was like, wait, I'm missing a little bit.
I think also, like, the dialect is so specific.
Yeah.
So it takes place in Massachusetts, in Lowell, and the accent is so... If you're not used to hearing it, I mean, not saying that I'm a professional on Boston accents.
You can do a really good accent from anywhere. You should hear her Australian accent.
Maybe we'll have to watch an Australian movie next.
Maybe.
But I think it is, they especially in this movie, they talk really fast.
Yep.
The accent can be a little bit mumbly. You know, Dickie is, you know, addicted for half the movie. So a lot of the things he's saying don't make sense, or they're really fast. You're kind of trying to keep up. So it is a little bit chaotic.
That was me. And I definitely missed a couple things here and there, but not to the point where it took me away from the storyline. And I like was getting confused. I just was like missing a little bits and pieces. So that's the reason I wouldn't give it a full 5 stars, but I really did love it.
Yeah.
It was a really good movie.
It's just so good. Go see The Fighter.
Yeah.
Go watch it.
Go watch it.
Snuggle up on your couch.
Yeah, we watched it. You can stream it. It's super easy.
Yeah, I know. Like, not a lot of these movies are that easy to stream.
Yeah, no.
You have to have, like, a subscription to every single service.
Yeah, like Cinemax. Pay $10 a month and then pay Amazon Prime and pay this, pay that.
You're like, oh, great, I have Hulu, but I actually need 10 other subscriptions on top of Hulu to watch anything of note.
It's a disaster.
I know.
We're writing a bad
I'm writing a review.
We're writing bad reviews for HBO Go, Max, Star, like whatever it's called.
HBO is a mess.
A mess.
Do you hear me? A mess.
A mess. Anyway, okay, so back to the final part of Tea Time, where we have little special guests that are here.
I know, our special, like, brain guests.
Okay, so do you want me to go first? Or do
you go first.
Okay, so my special guest is Chris Knuckles Nyland, retired NHL, tough guy, dropped the gloves any chance he could get with periods in between all those words, if you know what that means.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Yes.
So I think he would absolutely love this movie, first of all, because he played for Boston. He also played for Montreal.
He's a Boston boy.
Like, literally Boston boy. And he just embodied, like, NHL tough guy. And if anybody knows anything about NHL tough guys,
yeah,
they are not afraid to throw a mean right hook
throw
or
right down, yeah. Rip that helmet off.
Or a mean left uppercut,
yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Didn't shy away. Now, this brings me back to the point of the whole addiction thing, because Chris wrote an entire book about his life after hockey, and it involved high addictions to alcohol, to drugs. He's on the other side of it. He goes and gives talks. Yeah. He's a motivational speaker. He motivates people. He inspires people based on his story because he's sober now. Yeah. And he's amazing. Yeah. So I think this story would really resonate with him. Yeah. And I think he would love it. Yeah. I think he loves Mark Wahlberg, period. Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't? like, who doesn't? But I think that he would say everybody in this movie who played a fighter, even Amy Adams' character, when she punched one of the sisters. She throws down. I think you'd be very impressed about the cinematography and the reality and how real the fights were. Yeah. Yeah, no. You know, it's a movie, so it's like they have to choreograph it and make it happen. Yeah. So, Chris Knuckles Nyland, I know you would love this movie. You've probably seen it 100,000 times. Yeah. And then, I mean, mine was like a very silly choice, but it was Mark Wahlberg because I think that's so great. But I mean, I think for him, like, I think this was his penultimate of a movie to film, just because he is such a tried and true boxing fan, boxing athlete. I mean, you cannot do this movie and not be in the best shape of your life. I mean, getting in and out of shape for this movie is beyond. So I actually had a like cinematography, like movie filming, because I know nothing about it, and I feel like you as an actor and singer would know more about it. So the part where he had gained a lot of weight, in my mind, the first thing I thought of, I don't know why I even thought about this, I was like, oh, since he has no abs, and he had abs in the beginning and the end of the movie, I'm like, they filmed this middle part of the movie first. He didn't lose and gain and lose and gain. He gained to then lose. But they filmed all the parts where he was like fat. Yeah. First. Yeah. They must have. Is that how they do it? Yeah. So it depends on like what like is like because sometimes it depends on really movie to movie. But I think you would be correct because they had so many montages of him working out in the movie and really getting into shape for the movie. So I would say they either did it reverse what you said, like he started out heavier and got really in shape, or he started out really in shape and then was able to kind of get like softer. So it would have to be one of those two ways. I would think though that he would start out. Depends what his project was prior to this though. Yeah, like, I don't know what he was working on at that time. Right. So yeah, I just think that this would be, like, if we were to talk to him, I think he would say this would probably be one of his favorite experiences that he would have done. Like, it's I think one of his dreams maybe would have been to be a boxer or be as immersed in the boxing culture as possible. Yeah. And so to play this, legendary character of Mickey Ward, that's really this like true grit story. He's like, he's like a Boston boy. True story. Yeah. Like, that must have made it so much more meaningful to be playing a character of a man where like this is his actual life. Like, this is his story. I'm playing this man. I have to tell his story. Yeah. Well, and I think Mark Wahlberg is such an actor that really picks and chooses his projects very specifically and intentionally. And I think he probably found this story and was like, this is a story that needs to be told, because he does a lot of producing and directing and writing. And I think that this would have been a really special project. So yeah, I think that I'm just like happy he was able to do this. And I'm happy the story's out there. I just think it's a really relatable story. I just think it's a great movie for everyone to watch. Yeah. I agree. We loved it. We loved it. Cheers to the fighter. Cheers to the fighter. Cheers to our sponsor, La Marca. Not really sponsored yet. come on in.
Where are you?
Where are you? So that's it for episode 5 of Tea Time.
Episode 5, we
done
did it
again.
We did it again.
We
somehow,
did it again.
Somehow, shape, or form. But we're together, which I'm happy
I know.
about.
Look at us. We're actually together this time.
I can touch her.
Oh, I
She's
thought you were
real.
high-fiving me. I was like, are we doing high
She's
fives?
real. Oh my god.
I'm a real person. You're real. But that's it for Tea Time episode 5.
Yeah, episode 5. We did it.
We'll be back with something cool and new and exciting.
I know. Let's do it. Let's do it. Cheers.
Cheers.
See you next time.
See you guys next time.
Bye.